Hello and welcome back to Happy Healing Vibrations. I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody's staying warm. I don't know where you're following from, but I'm in Ontario and right now, Southern Ontario, and right now it's freezing and there's a snowstorm going on. So I thought it was perfect timing. My husband's out managing the snow tonight, so therefore it's a perfect time for me to get on and do a video. I hope everybody is well. And today I will be reading for the collective. And then I'll just pull a card for each sign, okay? How about I just do that? I'll pull a card for each sign. I find that reading for all these signs can be a little time consuming considering I just do it for fun. You know, I don't always read for every sign, so I apologize for that. I will eventually get on a schedule where I can read for all signs, but lately I've been dealing with my mental health, so please forgive me. Right before I started this channel, I was I was right on board, and then I had lost my best friend, my dog, and I was dealing with a lot of toxic things in my workplace, and so I have kind of been in a different space mentally. So that's why I haven't been doing videos. So I apologize for that. And I was sick for 2 weeks, really sick with some sort of cold or flu that's been going around. But I'm better now. I'm not sick anymore. Still dealing with, mental health issues, but since I've gotten away from that toxic workplace and it's been a little bit of a while now, I am feeling much better. We'll talk more about that later, okay? Maybe in another video or in the future. But anyways, I'd like to do a reading for the sign of Aries. One card pull for Aries. One card pull for Aries. Last shuffle. Aries. There we go. Aries, you got the water card number 1, the dolphin. So, dolphins are to me, they're very happy-go-lucky. That's just what I feel. So, I feel like, I'm seeing light here. I'm seeing a canoe. I'm seeing, they're in the water, but to me this doesn't feel dark or anything like that. It feels like there's a lot of support. You have a lot of support. Maybe you have an idea and, there is support people there around you that's helping you bring your idea into the light, into fruition. I do believe that you have a lot of great people around you that do support you and do want to help you. Yeah, to me this card looks great. I feel like this month you're going to have a really great month. It's going to bring you a lot of comfort and a lot of maybe celebration. Okay, you're going to be around a lot of people this month. Maybe there's going to be a party this month, a celebration this month, some sort of news that you're getting this month. It's definitely positive, okay? I'd say if I had to give you any advice, Aries, I'd say community and friendships. I'd say maybe make plans, spend time with people that love you and that you love. I think that will help you maybe feel light, okay? Because on the bottom of the deck you have been feeling emotional, you have been going through a lot, you're going through your life cycles. I do feel that having people in your life and having support is going to be important for you, okay, in the month of November. Alright, so let's pull one of these cards for Aries. Ooh. Okay. We can't pull all these cards, but let's see. Let's see what we got, because I hate when cards come out and people don't, take them into consideration. Release suppressed emotions. So that goes back to kind of the emotional card. Let the feelings you buried rise without shame. Cry, scream, breathe. Freedom begins where expression flows. So release all the negative thoughts that you have. Release the self doubts that you have. Release the depressed energy that you've been holding on to. It's time to release. Don't bottle up anymore. Maybe that's why you had those friends. Those friends are going to help you get through these emotions. So I'd say, yeah, again, time to release emotions, negativity, bottled up things that you've bottled up for years. I'd say it's time to release and find peace. Okay, and I think that your friends and your support system will help you do that. It's time to clear that negative energy, because negative energy keeps you stuck. And you need to clear it and create space for positive flow of life. Okay, maybe it's time to detox food wise. Maybe you smoke cigarettes, maybe you drink, maybe you eat unhealthy, maybe it's time to detox, clean your home, do a whole big clean out from your mind to your home. I think that will help you a lot. Um, Let go of judgment. Judging others only keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace compassion and release judgment. So maybe these suppressed emotions are hurt. You're like holding on to something that somebody did to you in the past, which is not helped you. It's kept you from moving forward. Okay. um and the last card, we got one more card after this. Honor the contract. Some lessons were written before you arrived. Facing them now, completes, the soul contract. So it's time to walk through the door. It's time to get out of this dark space in your mind. Release judgment, release the pain, release the negative feelings of the outcome of the situation, the negative feelings that were the outcome of a situation. It's time to release them and walk through that door. Okay? And if you're wondering how I can get to this light, I feel like this card is this is the last card that came out. I feel like this is advice to you. Kindness creates change. Every act of kindness shifts something somewhere. Be the reason someone feels hope again. So I feel that this is going to help you move from the shadows. I feel like, with the support of your friends and the people that support you, the true, genuine friends that love you, they're going to help support you and get you through this emotional time, help you get your emotions out. Again, time to clean up your act, clean up your diet, clean up your home, clean up your mind, clean up your energy, whatever it is that you need to clean up and clear, because it's only hurting yourself. It's only preventing you from moving through this door and having a energetically lighter life. Okay? And again, if you're like, how do I do this today? Through acts of kindness. Okay? I believe that that is what the cards want you to know today. Okay? Thank you very much, Aries. Now let's move on to Leo. So, Leo, let's see what Leo gets. Leo. Oh, I know that card had to come out for Leos. Jump right in, Leo. Jump in. Don't worry about who you're going to hurt. Of course, don't hurt anybody intentionally, but I think you just need to dive right in. The people who believe in you will follow you. You have what it takes to dive deep, Leo. You are strong. You're focused. I think it's time to dive deep and The clouded judgment, like all the doubts that you've been having lately are starting to dissipate, and the light is starting to shine through. You have these obstacles in your way, but you're just diving deep. You're keeping your head down. You're focusing, and things will turn out the way that you need them to turn out. Okay. What you need to concentrate on, I feel like you know exactly what you need to do. It's time to release any negativity that you have in your heart. Release any self doubts. Holding on to things will only hurt you. I don't think that it is something that is going to be helpful to you to hold on to these ice cold burdens. Okay, just time to release, dive deep, and things will go your way. Okay, so Leo, the invitation, yes, I see butterflies, transformation. You're being invited to transform, you're being invited and I'm also getting the flames. You are a fire sign. Butterflies are transformation to me and to most people. I feel like the moon is illuminating maybe some sort of transformation that you haven't seen. So like I see the moon here, and it's like you can't see that moon, but the flames are lighting up the darkness. I see the fog here, So, and the fog here, and they're totally different decks. So, I feel like the fog is moving. The sun, the moon, the light. The light is illuminating what you need to transform. You're being invited to transform. Maybe there's some familiar deep bonds that you need to transform. Maybe there's a relationship that needs transformation. I do believe that there is a relationship that maybe has changed in your life, or there's a relationship that you need to mend in your life. But if that's the case, it's telling you, it's inviting you to jump right in and make those changes. One more shuffle for Leo. Presence and self-awareness. Are you sure that you're present and aware of the situation, whatever this situation that you're trying to transform from these deep bonds? Do you have self-awareness? It says self-awareness in the situation. Like, are you aware of, I know sometimes when you're in an argument with somebody, or when you have a disagreement with somebody, or when you see something wrong, somebody did you wrong, or something like that, sometimes you're not self-aware. And sometimes, it's hard to see things from other people's point of view, But, it's time to release those. Release can be beautiful, Releasing something can be beautiful. It's time to have renewal, revival, and progress. So I think it's time to release those feelings of whatever happened with this relationship. And it's time for you to maybe also take accountability for, I'm also seeing fog. I'm getting the fog. This was at the bottom of the deck with release can be beautiful. So maybe releasing the fog. I'm seeing the fog here, and the fog here. So yeah, I think that it's time for you to release the fog, um, delete, release the anxiety, release the illusions, the gossip, and the depression. That's the only way forward, is if you can release this, because if you're not, you're gonna end up being emotional, disconnected. It's going to end up hurting your spiritual growth, Leo. So I think it's important to have forgiveness and take accountability. Okay, that's just my opinion on that matter. Um, Take what resonates, disregard what doesn't. Um, Leo, choose with love. Love is the most powerful force. Choose love over fear, and your life will transform. Okay? Anger, holding on to anger. You see, I don't know if you can see this, but there's like see in the dark closet, there's like that evil demon, There's, so I think, you can either be angry and be under the influence of distrust, unbalanced, and lack mentality, or you can choose to love, choose to release, and walk through the door of light, and have that, help, okay? At the bottom of the deck, Leo, accept your destiny. Embrace the unfolding of your journey. Trust that each moment is leading you to your true path, okay? So let life unfold how it unfolds. Stop, don't try to dictate how your life is going to move forward, because when you do try to dictate it, things happen that you can't control anyways, and then you end up getting angry, hurt, depressed, sad, and it ends up, you end up stuck. So whatever's happened to you, release it in love and move forward, because your life has a destiny, and you're on the right path. I do see the train, the destiny going this way, and the train doesn't seem to be going that way. So I think, again, it relates to this card. Come on, Chanel. Sorry about that. Chanel, come. To move through this door and put this train back on the right track to move forward is what you need to do. Okay? Thank you very much, Leo. Come on, Chanel. Come on, Chanel. Who you barking at, baby? You saying hi to everybody? Okay, now we're going to be doing a small mini reading for Taurus. Alright, this one is for Taurus. Hi, Taurus. I hope everyone's well. Taurus. Last shuffle. Alright. Taurus. You're learning. Taurus is learning right now. It's all about learning, memorizing. I feel like you've always had to kind of like change who you are to fit in. You've had to be a chameleon. But I think lately you've been going within, you've been learning about yourself, or learning about something important that has changed your life a little bit. I feel like the people who are going to accept you, Taurus, are going to accept you. And you don't have to change yourself. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to study other people and be what someone else wants you to be. Okay? I feel like maybe you're learning because you want to start creating something. you're creating, you're creating stability. That's what I'm getting. You're creating stability. You're creating peace in your life. So maybe being that chameleon and studying is actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe now that I've seen these cards, I feel like you learning to be a chameleon has helped you create this, weave this safety net. And you've created abundance and peace in your life. Wow, Taurus, that's very impressive. Okay, Taurus, let's get Taurus. Last shuffle, Taurus. So, I do feel like you've been nurtured recently. You have been almost like when you give a flower, like when a flower, I'm getting like, I'm seeing in my mind's eye, when a flower is like wilted and it's like people are kind of counting that flower out or counting that plant out, and like someone who comes along and they're like, I see potential in that flower, or flowers are living things, like they're like a compassionate person that loves nature comes and says, watch, and they water this flower, or they water this plant, and they bring this plant back to life. you know I'm getting that energy with that. So maybe someone has believed in you where other people have not believed in you. Maybe someone, maybe people were counting you out, and someone came forward and like believed in you and protected you, or not even protected you, because I don't feel like you need protection, but someone made you see something in yourself that maybe you didn't see or other people didn't see, and that wilted flower is now coming through. It's breaking through, groundbreaking. You're seeing clarity in who you are. You're seeing clarity in your work. You're seeing clarity in your future. um this is also bottom of the deck. You're having, this is Rosemary's telling you to keep the faith. Endurance, like endurance will pay off. You're protected, okay? And I think that the future has a lot in store for you. Okay, you have someone or something or on your side, and it's your time. Okay, Taurus, it is your time. Let me give you one more card. All right. The cycle stops with you. You are the one your ancestors prayed for. This pain ends in your hands. Choose differently now. So I feel like you're breaking an ancestral curse. Like maybe you're learning how to communicate with people. You're learning how to collaborate with people. You know, you're learning how to socialize with people in a way that is collaborative. Um, Again, I just keep coming back to this chameleon, and I don't feel like this chameleon is bad. I feel like this chameleon is like learning how to be a chameleon has helped you move forward. I see this creative, you're building your safety net, and I see a door here, like you're walking through the door of to peace. And again, with the wilted flower, I see you blooming. So I feel like you've broken some ancestral curses or ancestral or let's just say generational trauma that you've had to deal with. And, you're learning how to get along with different types of people. At the bottom of the deck, it's helping you shape your future. You're the creator of your future. So it's time, you can make choices that reflect your highest self. So one brick at a time, one piece at a time, you're creating your future. You're creating your path to, well, it's creating your safety net. You're creating your safety net. I believe that you're on the right path, okay? Whatever you're doing, continue, and don't let yourself feel like that wounded flower again. And you can always hydrate yourself, okay? You can always water yourself. You don't need other people to water you. So if you ever feel like you're that wounded flower, I would say, you can always give yourself that hydration, okay? So now I'm going to read for the sign of Cancer. I don't know, I'm going to use a different deck for this one. I just felt compelled to. Cancer. Cancer. One more shuffle. So Cancer. All right, Cancer, you've been very spiritual, whether that be... Come, Chanel! You've been taking intentional approaches to healing. That's what I feel with this card. You've been maybe alternative approaches, maybe alternative approaches with your healing, okay? Maybe with your fertility. For me, spider, that gives me fertility vibes. Alternative solutions, and I'm seeing a tea, I'm seeing natural. So I am seeing that either you've been focusing on natural healing, natural medicine, natural diets, or spirits recommending you do, okay? The other card at the bottom of the deck, I'm getting a sacred test. I'm seeing the girl's body, like she's got her hand to her head. So I am, and all the flowers I am seeing, it's like her. So fertility, okay. So this is what I'm getting from the cards. It might resonate with someone, maybe not all, maybe just a few. Take what resonates, okay? This card is, it's almost like she's praying. It's almost like she wants a favorable outcome. She's praying for it. She's meditating on it. She's maybe even setting intentions, lighting candles. I see potions. I see a little book here that says plants and trees, and something that says spirits and book of potions. So I think that there is something spiritual that you're dealing with, like, and I do believe it is fertility. I feel like maybe you've had issues conceiving, or you maybe are trying to grow your family, and you're taking, or you're not sure what's going on. I feel what you need to do is take the holistic approach, and you need to drink, do rituals, meditate, pray, whatever your vibe is, okay? We all believe in something different. I'm getting also here, bottom of the deck, the moon phases, which to me represents cycles, your menstrual cycle. Self-love and acceptance. You got to love yourself no matter what, okay? And once you love yourself and you take care of yourself, maybe that will help you grow or heal. Maybe that will help you transform your reproductive system, transform your life, and it will help you move forward on whatever health journey you're on, whether it be reproductive or um, physical health, emotional health. Okay? That's what I'm getting for you. I'm going to pull one of these oracle cards. Last shuffle. Wow, you got the moon. So the moon phases, cycles, intuition, emotional connection, fertility, dreams, message loved ones, from loved ones that have passed on, menopause, spiritual growth. Um, so yeah, I do believe that this is all about fertility. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant and you're having a hard time. Um, you know, you need to get emotional about the connection. You need to, to have a baby, sometimes you also need to grow spiritually, okay? So whoever's trying to conceive and having a hard time, I'm dearly sorry about that, and I hope that you will have your blessing, okay? The cards are telling you take the holistic approach, um, maybe have a fresh outlook on conceiving, fertility, and maybe you need to take a spiritual approach on that, okay? I'm going to pull one more card for Cancer. All right. All right, so face the consequences, Cancer. Um, your actions ripple beyond the moment. Stand in your truth, accept what follows, and let it guide your growth. You know, I'm seeing broken pieces here. So maybe this is about your health, because that's what the whole thing has been about. You know, stand in your truth, accept what follows, and let it guide your growth. I'm gonna take, cause not, that's why I don't like words on the cards. I've said that before because it does mess with your intuition. I'm seeing a bag here. I'm seeing that T again, and I'm seeing broken. So maybe the way you've been dealing things, or all this baggage, all this things that you have, all these tools you have in your bag, are broken, and maybe it's time to accept what follows. Sorry, accept what follows, and let it guide your growth. So maybe this is just a confirmation, the teacup. Maybe this is just a confirmation to stand in your truth. Maybe your truth is to, like, hey, I do need to look at my diet, or hey, I do need to look at my mind, or hey, I do need to look at my heart, or hey, I do need to find God, or hey, I do need to find myself, and let it guide your growth. And I do believe, if you don't want to accept that, that's fine, because that's not for everybody. But the teacup is validating that if you are dealing with fertility issues or trying to get pregnant, I say drink some herbal tea. Maybe look into some kind of herbal tea that can help with fertility or help with the reproductive system. I'm not sure. It is reddish pink here. I don't know. I've heard something about like raspberry leaf tea or something. I don't know. Don't just go drink it. Look it up, because I'm not sure. It's just coming to me off the top of my head. I don't know. So look into that. Maybe that can help you, okay? All right. Good luck, though. I'm wishing the best for you, Cancer. Now, let's read for the sign of Gemini. Gems. I'm a Gemini. You know I'm a Gemini. So, I have a special place for my Geminis. Look at Geminis. Laying out in the sun, relaxing. Smooth life, protection. To me, These turtles look at peace, okay? The sun is coming out, the clouds are moving on the beach. It doesn't get better than that, okay? Hard shell for protection. I believe that right now you guys, Geminis, are taking a well-deserved break, okay? You guys are enjoying the peace. Last shuffle. I see. I see this mama raccoon kind of like building, um, kind of putting their ducks in a row, building. I see them building something, okay? I see this mama building something for her baby raccoons, for her family, building something for her family, okay? And I'm seeing on the bottom of the deck bees. Bees always give me two things. Sweet, okay, sweet. Sorry, I just kicked my camera. Sweet and worker, okay? So maybe this mama or this raccoon is building something, creating work for her future, creating something for her future to help take care of her family, his family. That is going to be sweet. I'm seeing whatever you're putting your time into is going to bring you sweet growth. That's what I'm getting. Okay, sweet growth. All right. Let's pull an oracle card for my sweet Geminis. Geminis. Okay. Wow. Okay, so the carnelian, one of my favorite crystals, and if you've been watching my videos, you know that's one of my favorite crystals. So the carnelian is about energy, leadership, creativity, the hustle, sex drive, boss up, CEO energy, high energy, and passion. So again, you're at peace. You're in your light. You have this protection. You are feeling, stress free. You're working on something. You're building your future. Your future looks sweet. You are a leader. You're boss, okay? You have high energy, Gemini. Whatever you're passionate about is going to bring you sweet success, okay? And you got soil, stability, simplicity, budgeting. So maybe you've changed your lifestyle. I know I have. Maybe, you have found out that planting, making memories, building, planting intentional seeds rather than buying material stuff is more important to you. If you don't understand what I mean by that, well, maybe planting memories, maybe doing something good for others, creating growth and prosperity for you and your family, and you can do that by spending all the money, okay? Bottom of the deck. Spring, rebuilding, awakening, rebirth. So I feel like by spring, you're going to have a rebirth. Maybe right now what you're working on is not bringing in any money or any, if it's a YouTube channel like myself, I'm just going to put my own life in the limelight here, because I am a Gemini, and this is, maybe by spring, maybe you're not getting a lot of views on your YouTube channel, or maybe you're not getting a lot of views on your website, or maybe a lot of people don't know about what you're doing or what you're building. But I see by spring, you're going to have a new awakening. You're going to have a new rebirth. You're going to be coming out of the cold months. Winter is time for planting, soil, budgeting, stability, simplicity, you know, creating, creating your creating your business, creating your passion. And by spring, I feel like there's going to be a rebirth, okay? Um, let's get one card for Gemini. All right. Let go of what could have been. Grief often hides in the story of what didn't happen. Release the almost and return to the now. Okay, so you had different plans. You had different plans, and things have changed for you drastically. Um, maybe things didn't work out the way that you were hoping that they would work out, but, you know, they worked out in your favor because you don't know what's going on in the background. Maybe people that you thought were there for you were really like going behind your back and gossiping and down talking you, and God protected you from these people, because also what came out was you need to forgive yourself. Forgive isn't for others, it's for you. So free yourself from the guilt and the shame, and remember that everything happens for a reason. God was setting you free. Okay? And bottom of the deck, step into divine timing. What's meant for you won't pass you by. Trust the delays. They're aligning your path. But I said realigning your path because it just came out naturally, and I guess it's because of this kind of scene I'm playing in my head about, what you thought once was what you had to hold on to. You need to release it. Everything happens for a reason, and step into your divine timing and realign your path, okay? You need to let go of that false story that you made for yourself, okay? And because God has something bigger for you, and you're on your way there. I feel by spring, you're going to start to see a huge difference in your life, okay? And what you're doing. All right. Let's read for Pisces. I love Pisces. Hi, Pisces. Thank you for joining my channel. All right. Woo. All right. So, Pisces. It's funny because Pisces is my moon sign. Pisces, I am getting that you are maybe doing some renovations. I'm seeing maybe I feel like you're, okay. I'm seeing a mother, children, these tree trunks that are popping out to me. These mushrooms are popping out to me. I feel, sorry, I'm covering my mouth with my hands. Sorry if you didn't hear me. I feel like these mushrooms are popping out to me. She's managing a home with the kids. I feel like right now you are taking care of the home, managing the children. I feel like cooking you've kind of had a passion for cooking lately. On the bottom of the deck, yeah, I do believe, to me, I'm seeing a mortar. I think that's what you call where you grind the spices. Chanel, come here. Come. Sorry, guys. She's out there barking at God knows what. I have no idea why she keeps barking. Chanel, come here. Why you barking, baby? Why you barking? No barking, okay? Stay in here. So sorry about that, Pisces. But I am seeing, yeah, cooking has been a thing for you. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're a single mom, and you're going back to school for cooking. Or maybe you're not a single mom, but maybe you are going back to school for cooking. But nonetheless, something's cooking up. I don't know if it's food, or if you're cooking up a plan, but something is cooking up, okay? I do see you wanting to take care of your family. I just picked up this deck and I happened to look at the bottom. I'm seeing the bottom. Preserve, security, forethought, thrift, maybe preparing, planning, saving, shopping smart, put aside some of what you could use every day. Um, it helps, the pressure. Small gestures accumulate over time. Thrifty, don't let money burn a hole in your pocket. So maybe you're managing, maybe where you kind of spent frivolously on food, maybe you're managing your cupboards better. Maybe you're learning to be more experimental. Come, Chanel, come. Maybe you're learning to be more experimental with the food that you have, and you're creating, and it's setting a passion in you that, it's the economy has been hard. Everybody knows that whether you're in America, Canada, Mexico, China, like the economy has been different, okay? And groceries have been absolutely wildly priced unless you are, an elite, part of the 1%, like rich, millionaire and up, you're feeling the food prices, okay? And so I feel like because of that, you're managing your house differently to save money because you want to make sure your family's safe. And, that has really gotten you in the kitchen where you would spend frivolously before on takeout, restaurant food, luxury foods, but you're learning to work with what you have, and that has ignited a passion in you, which has made you open to, like a fresh start. I don't know why I said that. A fresh start. Yeah, maybe it's gonna help you make money. Maybe you're gonna go back to school and you're gonna be a culinary chef or something. But at the end of the day, how this message can relate, that's just for someone, or someone random. It might not be for anybody that even is watching right now, because again, I don't have a lot of viewers, but I am getting that for someone out there. But if that's not for you, again, I feel like, you're making some changes. You're maybe starting to cook more, and you are starting to be more responsible when it comes to spending on food and cooking. Okay? So let me pull one card for Pisces. Come. Chanel, you sit there. Sit. I'm almost done. Alright. Flew out of there. Okay. Heal emotional trauma. You survived what hurt you. Now let that pain become the seed of wisdom, strength, and spiritual growth. I see a crack in the vase, water coming out, like unnecessary spending, unnecessary, maybe, and I'm seeing growth. I am seeing that in my head. I'm seeing that maybe you were the type of person before who would fill up their fridge just for the sake of filling up their fridge. Maybe when you were younger, you didn't have a lot, or maybe you struggled. So, you felt that filling up your fridge and always making sure that there was food in the fridge what made you a good parent. And it really does. But, you know, what makes you even better and a good citizen of the world is like using everything that you have. You're like, I feel like you're having an awakening. Maybe you're seeing all the struggle that's going on in the world, and you're seeing like people are starving and famine, and maybe that has changed you inside, and not just like the money aspect of it all, but maybe, just hearing other people struggle has opened up your mind and awakened you. And I'm not I it says rebuild imbalanced relations. If the scales are tipped, it's time to restore balance, step forward, and create harmony in your relationships. But I feel like it's more like balance of give and take balance. Like, you're not just ready to buy food for the sake of buying food, for the sake of looking at it and then throwing it all out because it goes bad because you've bought in so much. I feel like you are growing and you are finding balance between money and food. Like, before you would want something specific, so and if you didn't have it, like, you would go buy it, where now you're going in your fridge and you're going in your cupboards and you're making things and experimenting with that food and you're creating meals and you're using up everything that you have. You're finding balance in your home, okay? And that will, in the bottom of the deck, that will in turn give you inner peace, because you're not spending as much money and you are creating, it says, create stillness in your mind and in your soul. I feel that is giving you peace because you are saving money, you're using everything that you have, and you feel more positive about what you're putting out into the world when you're doing that. Okay? Wow, we all need to learn from that, I think. Alrighty, so let's now read for the sign of, who's next? Let's read for Aquarius. Ooh, that just popped right out. Aquarius. Alright, so Aquarius, you're feeling very playful, mischievous. Um, Maybe you have a crush. Maybe you're getting along really well with your spouse. You are being very playful. You're in a very playful energy. Maybe I'm seeing like a spark. So, yeah, maybe you're met somebody recently. You're falling in love. There is a spark between you, or a new friendship, new business partner. But you are feeling the spark. The spark is alive. Um, I do see like this beaver. He's working hard. He is cutting down this tree because he's going to go build a dam to live in. So I feel like what I'm seeing is, this relationship that you are in, whether it be platonic, business, relationship, marriage, whatever it is, there is a renewed spark, or there is a spark there. There's chemistry, okay, and you guys are building a future together. And I feel like it's going to be a very strong future, and I feel like both both of you are on board with this future. I feel like there's mutual compassion there. Let's pull one of these cards for Aquarius. Chanel, come. Moth. Okay, give me one moment, okay? Okay, sorry about that. I locked her out. So, working in shadows, wearing a mask, always wanting to do what's right, look for the truth, but don't be blinded by it. Something isn't what it seems. What needs to be illuminated? Mystery, concealment, illusion. I'm feeling the night, okay? So, I'm not going to take the words into consideration because I feel like they don't go with this. I am seeing this butterfly, this moth. It's beautiful. Some people think moths are very ugly. I am remembering this story when I was younger, where somebody told me that, because I hated moths, and they told me a story with, all the kids were sick and they were crying, and, the moths wanted to create, they were once butterflies, and they went to the, to the other butterflies, and they said, these children are sick and they're crying. Let's, put our colors together and create a rainbow for them. But the butterfly, half of them didn't want to do it, so the half that did do it had to use all their color, and they created a butterfly. They created a rainbow for the sick children, and that's why they lost their color. So that's why you shouldn't be afraid of moths, because they're so loving. They gave all their color to make the sick children happy. It's just a story I heard when I was a kid. Okay, obviously not true, but what that's telling me is maybe this person that you're having this spark with, maybe they are not the most beautiful on the outside, but they are definitely beautiful on the inside. And, beauty is only skin deep. You know, I would rather have the butterfly with no color, because they gave up everything to make sick children happy. They're so selfless. They imagine what kind of energy that they will bring to the relationship. So sometimes you can't always go with what's on the outside. So I say, if you're struggling with doubts, if you're struggling with, you have all this chemistry with someone, but maybe you're not physically attracted to this person, I would say that, attraction comes. Let this person show you who they are, and you will end up being attracted to them. Accept your destiny, embrace the unfolding of your journey, trust that each moment is leading you to your true path. Okay? So, yeah, maybe it's not your typical type, but this person is good for you. And I think that you should give this person a chance, and they will show you. It will come out. They'll show you why they're good for you. Okay? You're going to find out real quick why they're good for you. Yeah, give them a chance, because and they know that the spark is there. Beauty is skin deep. It's very shallow, right? Okay, let's do for Virgo now. Virgo. 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 One more shuffle. One more shuffle for Virgo. All right. I felt these two cards. All right, Virgo. Something's happening fast and fierceful. Fast and fierce. Fast and fierce. Someone's holding on to something. Something's coming in fast, but someone's holding on to something. Bottom of the deck is the bear. All right. I want to say there was an argument, Virgo. Someone's holding on to it, and it's like someone's retreated. There's someone's coming in hot, someone's coming in fast, fearful. I keep hearing the word fearful. I don't know why. And someone's gone to hibernate. There's this. To me, I love this card, and usually I get really great feelings, but I'm getting like, I'm seeing the emotion, stuck in emotion, not able to see their shadow. You're not seeing the bird shadow anywhere, or the reflection anywhere. Someone had to retreat. Like, one person wants to talk about it, and the other person, they want to retreat. They want to go to their peaceful den, and they want to go to their home and be at peace. They want to go into another room and just have peace. They don't want to continue to fight about the same thing over and over again and hold on to something that's not serving them, okay? So if you're holding on to an argument, or holding on to something that happened within the relationship, if you're going to stay in the relationship, you have to let go. You can't hold on to it so tightly. You have to let go in order for you to find peace and balance. You can't have one person um, totally closed off and the other person coming in so hot and heavy and ready to go. It seems like these people are two different. Seems like there's two people who think very differently. There's two people, very different people in a relationship, and I'm not saying that this relationship isn't going to survive, um, but if you do want it to survive, you're going to have to meet this person halfway, okay? Um, I didn't even shuffle. I just looked at the bottom of the deck and I got the butterfly transformation. I told you butterflies from your transformation. So, again, in order for you to have this bond in this relationship and make it work out for the better of both of you guys, you are going to have to transform. It will bring you joy. It will bring beauty to the relationship. The butterfly is also, a long journey, inspirational. Fear of change can hold you back. Let your happiness inspire courage. It will be worth it. Let yourself grow and become something new. Okay? So maybe this person's here and you guys are butting heads a lot and you're two very different people, but, I feel like they're going to help you grow into and transform into this person, who has always been afraid of change, and it's always held them back. Um, don't be mad at me, Virgo, but don't Virgos like to know everything, and they're very smart and they know a lot, but maybe just something inside me is feeling like, know that you don't know everything and you can learn from others, and maybe this is something that you're arguing about. um I feel like you do need to. I'm getting loyalty, faithfulness, remembrance, keeping the faith, endurance, protection. So if it's over being faithful or loyal to each other, that's something that you're going to have to decide on yourself, on your own, if that's going to be something you can get past. And if it is, you're going to have to get past that. Also, bottom of the deck is, hedge, potential boundaries, indecision. So, um, you know, how do you respond to others, and to others' boundaries. Maybe it's time to renew your own boundaries, review your own boundaries. Maybe you're in limbo in your relationship and you're in two states of mind. Like maybe on one side you're like, maybe the maybe the sorry, but maybe sexy time is great. Maybe sex is great, but you know on the other side, like, you know maybe this person is not respecting boundaries. Maybe they're going out hanging out with friends who are females and you don't feel comfortable with that. There's got to be some sort of balance. You guys have got to talk this out. You guys cannot be coming in from two different hot and cold. Like hot and cold, it makes warm, but somebody's got to give, or it's going to stay stuck. Okay? Yeah. All right, let's pull one more card for Virgo. Last shuffle for Virgo. All right. Let go of judgment. Judging others only keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace compassion and release judgment. Yeah, if you're going to judge them and criticize them, um, it's time to let go. And if you do want to be with this person, you guys have to have balance. And you have to remember, that you can't be criticizing each other constantly. You have to, um, in the end, you're going to lose the person that you love, or they're going to lose the person that they love. There's got to be some sort of compassion for each other. So my advice to you would be to, accept each other's imperfections, and remember that perfect doesn't exist, okay? Um, it's the key to growth. If you guys think that if you think that someone's perfect, or you think that you're perfect, how are you going to grow? Perfect doesn't grow. Okay, perfect just is. And there's no such thing. So if you believe that you're perfect, or if they believe that they're perfect, there's no opportunity for growth. So you guys have to come to a point where you guys can, I'm getting the hot and cold again, make warm. So you guys gotta take your standpoints and create warmth. Okay? Good luck with that. I really am thinking about you, and I hope that you guys make the best decision for yourself. Okay? Remember, you got to put yourself first before you can put others first. Okay? When you put others first, it's not giving you the best life and the best chance that you could have. Okay? So let's read and pull some cards for Capricorn. Capricorn. Let's go. Caps. All right. So, wise cat. I'm getting wise. I'm getting witchy vibes. I'm getting clearing. I'm getting spiritual vibes. I'm getting, I feel like somebody, Capricorn, is someone a witch here? I'm getting from the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so maybe this person has recently got into spirituality, or something, and it's starting to feel magical. It's starting to bring the light into your life, you're starting to see yourself in a light that you've never seen yourself before. And I feel like it is giving you growth. Wise owl. I do feel like you've got a gift here. I feel like you've got a gift, spiritual gift. Capricorns, you've been quiet. You've just been like in introspective state, learning about yourself, or maybe learning about, because at the bottom of the deck, learning about love, learning about self-love, learning about, I see the crystals, I'm seeing a goblet, I'm seeing water, petals. So yeah, I feel like you have gotten into spirituality, or learning about witchcraft, and learning that witchcraft is, come from the earth. What they believe in is totally different than what you thought that witches believe in. And you've through this opening, you have found a gift within yourself, a newfound wisdom, and it's bringing like a new love for yourself, a new love for others, and also bottom of the deck, maybe creating abundance in your life. This is also fertility, but I also am seeing the baby, so maybe, and the flowers and the growth. So I am seeing that, it's making you a more nurturing person, a more wise, nurturing, caring person. Okay, I do see a lot of spirituality around you, and I do see that you guys are definitely open to opening up your, I'm getting third eye. Okay, let's pull one more card for Capricorn. All right, 2 cards. Basil, prosperity, luck, and love, positive changes, health improves, fast growth, seeing a ladybug. Like maybe you've seen a ladybug recently. I don't know if you, maybe not here. Maybe it's been a painting because it is freezing here. Um, Maybe it's a painting ladybug. If not, you're seeing a ladybug now. Um, but, you know, this spirituality, learning about yourself and your gifts have brought in some positive changes, which I do believe has also affected your health, okay? I do believe it has helped your health improve, okay? Um, Moth nights, you know, night times, maybe you're up in the night, maybe you're thinking a lot in the night. Um, Illusion, so maybe things are coming to light. You know, you're always wanting to do what's right. You know, you're looking for the truth, working in the shadows. Maybe you're wearing a mask. Maybe you're afraid to tell people what you've been working on or learning because you feel like you're going to be judged, you know. But don't worry, you know, just be grateful and blessed that you have been able to find yourself and open yourself up to these gifts because you know, we all have beautiful gifts, but you know, media, religion, people, you know, they hold fear over you, and they prevent you from, you know, having those gifts because you're so afraid to have them. You know, clear entangled karma. Every relationship holds lessons. Break free from karmic ties that no longer serve your growth. So maybe that's what I was just saying. Maybe that is you being afraid of people saying, you know, like she's a witch, she's evil, she's satanic, da 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 da. And you are reading something totally different about it, like witches love trees, witches, you know, are you know, they live off the earth. They're all about natural medications. They're, you know, they're all about clearing their home and making sacred spaces, and you know what I mean. There's just, you know, a lot more to it than what people and movies and cartoons and all that stuff have conditioned you to believe. Okay, so it's time to be who you want to be, believe in what you want to believe in, because you know people can say the same thing about other religions and different things too, right? And different beliefs. Everybody has their own mindset, their own belief, and if you want to believe in your religion in peace and not have anybody, you know, because there's all religions have a reason why, or reasons why or it's good, and reasons why, you know, you shouldn't believe in it. um, so you know, I'm not going to get into it because people will be feel offended if they, you know, if I get into it as an example. I don't want to give an example because it's just an example, and I don't want people to feel upset about that because I don't want anybody to feel judged about what they believe in, because we all believe in our own beliefs, but we cannot judge others. What you believe in is not necessarily the be all end all, and what I believe in is not the necessary be all, you know, end all. And if you feel that way, then I'm sorry for you. All right, so let's read now for the sign of, so who, okay, so I did Geminis, I've done Pisces, I've done Aries, I've done Leo, Virgo, Capricorn. So we got Cancer, we got, who else do we got? We got Cancer, and we got Libra, Scorpio. Okay, so let's read for the Scorpio. Scorpio. This video will probably be about an hour and a half long, so if you don't want to watch it all, you know, the timestamps will be at the bottom, okay? Scorpio. Ooh, Scorpio. All right. Okay, so Scorpio. I'm seeing a weaving something, creating something. Um, I'm getting weaving lies. I don't know. I don't know why I heard this. I feel like creating webbing, like a web of lies, something, that I'm seeing like people are, I feel like people are jumping in because there's a web of lies. Maybe there's something to do with contracts. I'm getting signing of contracts. Maybe someone wants you to sign a contract. I would say read the small print. Scorpio, I would definitely say read the small print. Um, Maybe you have other people jumping in with you. So if you're pulling other people into something, I would definitely read the small print. Or maybe, other people are in on it, or other people are also um, falling. Oh, I got falling for it, and I see the penguin falling, so don't fall for it, okay, Scorpio? I feel like something's an illusion. I see like this candle, the mirror, something is an illusion, okay? Oh. Peace, grounding, earth, so, and bottom of the deck, the snow, rest, contemplation, introspective energy. So, yeah, I do feel like you need to contemplate something before you do it, and you need to go inside, okay? Take some time. Don't rush, ground yourself first. You do need to ground yourself before you make any final decisions, okay? Moon phases, so maybe this is also bottom of the deck, so I do think that you need to give it a month, a whole moon phase before you sign anything. It's for your own protection. Read the fine prints, okay? I'll give you one of these cards, Scorpio. Oh, wow, why do I keep getting this card? But anyways, maybe we're all really connected. And we are connected. Let go of judgment. Judging others only keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace compassion and release judgment. Maybe the web of lies. Maybe you've got yourself caught in a web of lies, and it's time for you to release the judgment, release the criticism, release the, what's the word? Release the grudge. Time to let go of grudges. It only hurts yourself, okay? I wouldn't be planning to do anything illegal, okay? I would not, because it will come back to you. I would not plan to create a contract if you're someone in a leadership role. I would not take the risk. I would not jump in and just follow people blindly into the dark depths of your soul, okay? You're better than that, Scorpio, and creating that web will only end up having you stuck in it, okay? So now let's read for Libra. Libras. I love Libras as well. Libras are very balanced people. They get along with everybody. Oh, that's such Libra energy. Love, beauty. Libra. I feel like you're right now taking care of someone, taking care of your family. Yeah, I feel like you're like the king of your pride. I feel like you're the leader, like, yeah, the wise leader. The wise leader protecting, like, he sees this little mouse and he's not jumping on it, he's not pouncing on it, he's protecting it. There's babies in every picture, so maybe you've recently had a baby, or someone is pregnant. I'm getting a lot of fertility lately. I do believe that I'm seeing like a mother, father, like maybe a balance between, and it's funny, balance, Libra. Okay, so I'm seeing like a balance between maybe role, like, I hate to say gender roles, and I'm not trying to say gender roles because, like, you are, like, everybody can believe what they want to, but maybe, like, you're having problems with your spouse, and, like, No. No, it's perfect. Like, you are in such a great harmonized relationship. I'm seeing balance. I'm seeing complete balance and wisdom, and what you're doing now is very wise, very, you're creating harmony within your relationship, within your family. It's maybe you're being the man or the woman that, like, your family needs. Let's get Clarifier Oracle card to help us. Freedom, opportunity, spread your wings and fly. Time to break free. Take the risk, confidence. Freedom, opportunity. So maybe someone was in a relationship or is in a relationship in a family dynamic where, you know, there's been an opportunity in your life that has, like, been able to help you be able to balance your family dynamic. And you know you're spreading your wings and you're flying, and you are taking that leap of faith. It's this new job is probably helping you build a strong foundation. It's given you a newfound power and strength that you never knew you had. Like, it's made you wiser. It's created, that's his letter, but I'm feeling like it's leader. That's what I feel. So, maybe you are leading your household with wisdom, and stability. I feel like you've been all about family lately, Libra, and I feel like you're doing a really great job at balancing your work life and your home life and creating stability within your family. And I do believe that your family also sees this and really gives you credit for it. Okay, I am seeing that your family is so thankful for you. Libra, amazing. I feel like, wow, everybody needs a Libra. Okay. I'm just taking this. Accept imperfections. Oh, I said this earlier. Embrace your flaws and the flaws of other. They are the key to growth. Yeah. You know, step into divine timing. One more time. Step beyond comfort. Growth only happens outside the comfort zone. Embrace discomfort as a sign of progress. So, maybe you've had to step up more, and get out of your comfort zone in this new role that you're in. But, it is the perfect time for you. It is the time for you to move forward with this. And, you know, when you embrace this change, you know, it will help you progress in ways that you never knew that you could progress. That was a little bit tricky, Libra. All right. Who else do we have left? We got Sagittarius. Saggies. Okay. All right, so I'm getting I'm getting something is holding on to something. Someone is holding on to I'm getting someone is having issues with matters of the heart and matters of passion for sexual passion. Someone is holding on to something. You know, holding on to love is okay. Holding on to love is okay, but you know, all these hard rocks are starting to build up, and you know, you see the growth growing through the hard rocks. Like there's still growth growing through those rocks, you know, like maybe I feel like the snake has you know, they're like holding on tight, you know, to their heart. They don't want to open up their heart. I feel like they're afraid to open up their heart. You know, but I am seeing the penguins, you know, jumping into the cold waters, like maybe jumping in back into the dating pool. Um, you know, somebody lost someone, or I'm getting divorce, something finalized. Um, you know, someone going within, someone feeling alone, you know, but they're holding their cards close to their chest. You know, they're afraid to love, they're afraid to open up again, they're afraid, but you know, like something is melting the ice. You know, something is happening behind the scenes. Something is making a splash. Something is growing. Maybe the snake doesn't even know it yet. Maybe Sag, you don't even know it yet. Maybe you know, you love somebody who is maybe going through that, or maybe you're going through that, and somebody is like, I'm seeing like, you know, someone with like a blowtorch, like, you know, melting the ice, you know, the ice blocks, you know. So I feel like you're warming up to the idea of love, you know, and I'm feeling a koi fish. To me that's like someone who's shy, you know, someone that's shy, someone who you know, is lucky though, you know. Don't hold on, you know. Don't sit there alone, you know. There is something out there, something beautiful, like a beautiful unicorn, like something that you never thought that you would ever experience. But you need to stop holding on to doubt, you know, because doubt is never going to bring you that beautiful change. You know, if you're going through a hard time and you don't open up to nothing, like you're never going to be able to, you know, move forward. So you got disarm the fear. Fear limits your potential. Release it and step into your power with confidence. You know, don't be afraid to love. Leap. You know, that's giving me the Fool's energy. Fool in the deck of the tarot, which means like, you know, youthful energy, you know, innocence. Soften the armor. Ooh. She's got armor around her heart. What once protected you may now be holding you back. Let your heart breathe without defense. Enough said, Sagittarius. Okay? That was a really good read. Alright, so we're going to do for Cancer. 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 Alright. Cancer. Alright. And one more for Cancer. Alright. Cancer. Oh, sorry, Cancer. Um, Someone's building something, someone's watching. Everybody's watching you build up this amazing. I'm getting like someone in an orchestra. Yeah, like the symphony guy. Um, I feel like, something, somebody's in the spotlight. Someone's in the spotlight. Someone is making music. I'm getting star quality. Cancer, star quality. Someone is star quality. Someone's building a reputation, maybe in the music industry, maybe someone is a music teacher. I'm just dropping the cards everywhere, guys. Yeah, also this card, I feel teacher. I'm seeing books. I feel like someone is a music teacher. Someone is teacher of the year. Someone's tutoring someone musically. Something to do with music and teaching. Okay. Last shuffle for these all fell out, so let's see what they are. I don't feel connected to those cards. They dropped out. Let me get an actual card for Cancer. Passion. So yeah, maybe hustle, passion, high energy, boss up. So maybe you're somebody who's interested in music. You're talented in music, and as a way to make a second income, you have started tutoring people in music. You know, I bottom of the deck. Strength. I am getting the music is your strength. I am getting that teaching is your strength. Create a strong foundation for yourself. So if you're looking for a part-time job or a side hustle, I do feel like you can teach. Maybe you know how to play the guitar and you're teaching children how to play the guitar. Or maybe also, maybe like you're trying to learn what your passions are, and you have come across like maybe music will help you heal, help you learn. um I'm getting teacher vibes big time. Teachers building, learning, passion, foundation. Yeah, I think you have a spiritual connection to teaching. I think that you're here to teach people, and I feel like music lives through your veins. I feel like music brings you happiness, okay? So that's all, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope that this helped you or gave you a little bit of insight or was just fun to listen to. Um, I will be back on Friday, and I will read for all signs again. I feel like it's a long video, but it gets it all done at once, and then I read for everybody. So I will definitely link the timestamps in the information below. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. I hope that you have a wonderful evening and stay warm. Get the fireplace on and have a hot cup of chocolate if you are in Canada. Okay, and I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead of you. Take care. Bye, everyone.